January 29th, 2026. What a day. What a day. As we wake up, for many of us, Moon will be in Gemini, then void, of course, for a 3-hour tour, something like that, plus or minus, and then find her way into Cancer. The moon rules Cancer. She's so happy there, and that's going to feel terrific when she's in sign. Gentle reminder when she is in between signs, you can dream, you can journal, you can make your little altar mock-up of what you're bringing in. You can meditate and see your mock-up bubble and what you want to put in there, how you want to define the next steps or the next images of your life. And perhaps we will do that collectively. How do we want to rewrite the Constitution of the United States, things like that, and in the best of ways, not in the ways that all those shenanigans are happening right now, in more like kind of glorious ways. And that's my bias, but I will cop to it. So we also have an exciting conjunction. Our dear friend Mercury comes to the same degree as Venus. So they're going to meet up in our dear friend Aquarius, and that could feel really interesting. It's often interpreted as a super time to make art, make something beautiful. I saw a picture of a pencil drawing that a man's doing of a ponderosa pine tree. He's a brilliant artist and he uses sharp pencils, and it was so beautiful. And I saw it and I was like, that's Mercury conjunct Venus. Then Luna has some aspects. So she, right after that conjunction by a little time, she goes semisextile, sort of a light, minor relationship, minor transit, minor aspect with Uranus, the god of the sky, that kind of revolutionary electric energy. And then we've got some squares. Yep, Luna with Saturn, and then with Neptune, and then Luna goes into a quincunx with Pluto. So our emotions may be kind of sort of tossed around a bit. My read was to keep emotions in check, because with all of that laying in on us and this creation, Earth, a relational place where we are driven really by our emotions, we may feel sort of like, wow, man, this is a lot. Like I'm feeling things right now. And particularly, I'd say right now in the Americas where things are really hot. We got super activated by a series of eclipses and a couple that were really strong over the past few years. So it's a big time. And I will close this with the color frequency and the number. So honey gold was what I saw for the day. Given that it's Jupiter's day, it is Thor's day, Thursday. And then I also see the drive of it. The numerology is 4. So while these aspects may take us into a bit of a growth period, the semi-sextile is more of like a the thinker kind of growth period. The squares may feel a little more clear, sort of like, when you break something by mistake, let's say you knock a glass down, it spills and then it breaks on top of spilling. That kind of like, whoa, that's a little bit like the square. Like, okay, not only did I lose my milk, it spilled all over the floor, and now the glass is also broken, and I've got to clean this whole mess up and figure out what to do with the broken glass. And, it becomes this ordeal a little bit. And as you know, you are in charge of your energy field, so you can mock up what you want your day to look like. You can be senior in your space in that way and call the shots. decide, okay, I know these squares are coming, but I'm going to use them actually. I'm going to figure out a blind spot that I might have in this art project that I'm doing. Like, been staring at this picture I've been doing, but I can't quite see why the composition's not working. So I'm going to spend a little extra time staring, even though I'm feeling impatient right now. And maybe I'm going to take a total break from it and do something completely different, even though I want to be doing it right now. So it's like you sort of dimmer switch the growth period. That way you dance with it a little bit, little cha-cha-cha. All right. Thanks so much for being here. Your call to action is to do a little bit of journaling. If you're not a journaler, you can daydream. You can also aimlessly wander. If you've ever read The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, there are many ways to live in this world as an artist, and from morning pages to the aimless wander. And aimless wander just means you do what you want to do. Maybe you go sort of on an artist date where you take yourself to wherever you feel like going. Maybe you do take a little walk in the woods without agenda. And maybe you just want to be cozy. It's chilly. A lot of people lost power. Maybe you just want to get warm and find your animals and curl up with them, or your honey and do a little spooning with your honey. And call to action is because we do have these growth period opportunities, and we also have our Luna in between signs for it's about 3 hours. So we might feel a little bit of that dream time. And because accident potential goes up when Luna is in between signs, it's also a good time to go within to find what is it that I feel like doing right now? What's going to bring me joy and feel alive for me right now? Okay, thank you so much for being here. And it helps me lots if you subscribe, you press the thumbs up, and you can go for it in the comments. You can write as much as you want. There's a really good chance I will write you back because I am a writer, and sometimes I write a little too much, but I'd love to hear from you. And oh, I forgot one thing because I keep hearing people talking about, or rather not talking about it, even though I know they're talking about it. Um, be sure to titrate through this time because we're all growing. So you can look at all of it like, wow, all of this is happening, and I want to know more. I want to that Mercury energy, like I want to learn, but you also want to take rest from it. So I talk about this a ton, and it's easy to find if you go for a search, but you can expose yourself and then you pull back and take a little rest. And in this way, you do the dance with the various aspects of your biology and the experience that your nervous system might be happening and your emotional body might also be happening. And it also helps you not go to surge. And if it gets too electrical, you will trip a breaker. Not too big of a deal, but you have to then switch the breaker back on to get your motor running. So, and if you, for example, do have a backdrop of trauma in your world or a nervous system injury, sometimes that can take a little time to wait till you really get that breaker back onto reset. So if you preempt it without a lot of escalation or have an intention not to escalate, intention more to titrate and take yourself into those rest zones, you might very well feel better over time, and you might weather this time that we're in that much better.